Greetings YouTube, Alan Loop back with another video. It's been a while. ProQuest, towards the end, I didn't feel like playing that much, so I kind of took a little break from the game, but Part the Mistveil is coming out very soon, and I thought, I did a set review sort of for heavy hitters, so why not do it again for Part the Mistveil? And this time, for each of the classes, I decided to bring on, one of my friends or team members to talk about the cards as well. So here we have Nghia Tran. Would you like to introduce yourself a little bit?
Hi, I'm Nghia. I like Ninja. Zen looks pretty cool overall. I mean, all the heroes look pretty cool. Yeah, I'm on Alan's team, Stroop Waffle.
Oh, it's my team?
Yeah, it's your team.
No, it's definitely not my team. Anyways, but yeah, so for this video, we'll be going through the ninja stuff. I don't think that I'm alone in thinking that maybe Ninja sort of got the least amount of help this set, but maybe we could be wrong. Maybe there's some hidden OP stuff in there, but yeah, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. So getting into it, Zen, the new Mystic Ninja, once per turn instant with a chi, create a crouching tiger in your hand, search your deck for a card with combo, banish it, then shuffle. So far, because I've only seen very limited gameplay of Zen, what is your take on Zen so far, Nghia?
I think he's all right. I don't think I'm anywhere close to cracking some sort of code. His hero power is like obviously very disgusting. Being able to tutor something is just like always inherently very good. I think that like the deck overall, at least how I've built it, has felt like pretty good, but I don't know its place in the meta, really. Like, I don't know what it's meant to be good against other than, like, Illusionist.
Hey, maybe that's something. Especially with Enigma in the game now. But, so when you've approached Zen so far, have you been taking, like, a more aggressive approach to things? Like, trying to do, like, a really wide chains or something like that?
Yeah, I've done, like, a lot of really wide chains, a lot of, like, buff at the start of the turn, like Art of War, Roar of the Tiger type things, and just going like really wide, seeing how that's going, and the damage output is like pretty good. But yeah, I feel like he might be outdone by some disruption. Like disruption hurts him a lot.
Do you think that there's room for, like, say, a more defensive deck? Because obviously combo Flick Flack's really good. You have that one ambush card, I think, right, from the Round the Table set. So, or do you think he's just meant to kind of just like also just be super aggro?
As is, I've built him pretty aggro, but I can also see not necessarily like a turtle type build, but maybe like
More like bide your time, kind of like with the current Katsu builds, like you chip here and there, and then when you get an
yeah,
opening, you go for like the big turn.
yeah, that's what people have been like talking about, and maybe that's just like the better approach. And to be honest, I might think that's the better approach because of his hero power. Like, just do a setup, get your chi ready, and then just like go off.
Do you feel like there's more inconsistency with Katsu because you have to balance both chi and combo cards?
I think there's a lot more moving pieces than Katsu because not only do you need chi, you also need the cards to pop off. In addition to the fact that you need buff for the tigers, so it's just like you need all of these things. Whereas Katsu is just like set up your graveyard, set up the board, like get ready. Like you don't even necessarily need Art of War on your big pop off like triple bonds turn, but like obviously it helps. But like this you need like an Art of War or Roar of the Tiger if you want to go really wide with the tigers.
Yeah.
Or else like sending 0 at your opponent's not very good.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, just from what I've heard from people around, like Enigma and New seem very pushed. Like their cards are really good. They seem clearly to have a place in the meta somewhat. Whereas Zen, just like I think people are still trying to figure out like what differentiates him from Katsu a little bit outside of just like big raw damage and big chain links. All right, let's move on to equipment. So, legendary chess piece, 12 petal Kasaya. Whenever you transcend, you may gain a resource. Instant, pay a chi, destroy this, create a Zen state token. So, when I look at this, I'm not too sure how applicable it is. Like, for example, Katsu can run the Heart and Cross Strap because you start with Surging. but as far as I'm concerned, not most Zen decks aren't running surging. Maybe they are. I'm not sure. But for this one, like, do you feel like the payoff is there for transcending and getting that resource, or would you rather just kind of have the tunic so you can go Art of War, like whenever you want, type of thing?
I've kind of really enjoyed Tunic, but like maybe in that more like combo heavy version, you might want this because in the combo heavy turn, you'll go on your combo turn and maybe you'll transcend twice on that turn,
Yeah.
and then you get two resources,
Yep, that's
and
true.
like it could be relevant. You could pay for like chase the tail stuff like that. Art
Yeah.
of War.
Yeah, that's true. The fact that it's not once per turn is pretty notable. Like if you have the Sacred Art plus a Transcend card, then you can get 2 free resources and go super big. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think this one's interesting. I'm not super sold on it, but it's definitely an option over Tunic, right?
Yeah. I also you probably want it in matchups where like
You
you
need
want to
the
block
fridge.
like
Yeah,
yeah, like Azalea.
true. All right, moving on. So for this one, this is kind of just like a draft card, rare equipment cloaked. Blade. You basically get 3 armor block if you go exactly down to 1, and you get to turn it face up. For this video, generally my videos are always CC focused, so I'm not going to cover too much on draft cards. So if we ever go to a card and you feel like it's just draft chafe, then you can just we can just skip it. But this one's actually interesting. Legs blade break 1 when this defense create a crouching tiger in your hand. So as opposed to things like Razor Rider Boots, you don't really need because most of the Crouching Tiger combo stuff has Go Again for the most part, and Crouching Tigers themselves have Go Again. And Snapdragon Scalers also isn't super necessary because I don't imagine there's that many cards that you need to snap unless you're running like E-Strike and other random generic stuff like that. But at that point, you're like whittling down the synergy of your deck. So do you feel like this is somewhat of like the default piece for Zen?
Personally, I like Pouncing Paws more.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been talking about this actually a bunch, but Pouncing Paws versus Stride is basically Stride makes it in your hand, whereas Pouncing Paw makes it in your banish. But the trade-off is you have to cash it in on the turn you're about to use it with Stride, whereas Pouncing Paws you get to cash it in whenever you'd like after you blocked with it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the trade-off really, and I've currently in like the fact that I can like block with it and then just like use it whenever I want and kind of just like use it to staple together turns if I have like low tiger count or go even bigger on bigger turns.
Mm-hmm.
But Stride is also just like very good
Yeah, I
because
think
tigers in hand are just like way better than tigers in banish.
yeah, because I guess like for example, Art of War or any like bottoming a card effect or something random like that, having that tiger can act as like a free card almost. But wouldn't you also agree that like in general, your big pop off turns generally you're also playing out tigers, not just using them as like an Art of War banish, for example. So like having one in banish versus one in hand, maybe you have a different one that can make one in hand. So yeah, I can see having the battle worn being a bit more useful, but who knows? Maybe having them all in hand so you can like quadruple or triple Art of War is like better. Who knows?
Yeah, there's also Tooth and Claw which cares about the ones in hand.
Yeah.
So like if that card ends up being like more relevant, like I currently haven't liked its spoilers. But if
We'll
it
get there.
if it
We'll
ends
get
up
there.
being very good, yeah.
It's literally the next card.
I didn't know it was the next card.
Yeah, next card, Tooth and Claw. 0 for 4. You may reveal any number of crouching tigers from your hand. If you reveal 1, it gets Go Again. 2, it gets +1, and 3, you draw a card. So this is basically the Phoenix form of Zen, right?
Yeah.
And you already said that like you're not super impressed with the card so far in testing, and I think also like when I first started playing Fi, like Phoenix form was like the oh my god, if this lines up, this is so amazing, right? But I think eventually most people ended up cutting it because it was just too like I don't know, not consistent enough, basically.
Yeah, the issue with it really is like it requires them in hand, and the only ones that make it in hand are Harmony of the Hunt, um,
Predatory
Tiger Form
Streak. Wait,
Incantation,
does Pred
and
Streak make in hand or banish?
Banish, and
Oh,
Roar
okay.
Roar of the Tiger, and then the Strides, and so those are the only cards that make them in hand. Everything else makes it in banish,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of like a non-bow, right? Like At most, or not at most, but like usually this card is just like a 0 for 4 go again, which is not bad, but it's not as impressive as like it could be.
Makes sense. Moving on to the next majestic, Shifting Winds of the Mystic Beast. Whenever you play a Crouching Tiger this turn, name a card, it gets that name. If a Chi was pitched to play this, create 2 Crouching Tigers in your hand. So have you toyed around with this much so far?
I have tried my hardest to make this card work. But so far for me, at least with how I've built the deck, I just like it's just a lot of hoops that you have to go through, and like having to pitch a Chi to get the Tigers is like otherwise it's a one go again blue that like
Names a card.
names a card, and like you can name 100 winds and then ends on
Yeah.
winds of eternity, but then you're shuffling like a bunch of dead cards into your deck. So like I
Well,
haven't been a fan of that.
so for the viewers, what the stuff I've heard so far is, for example, like you can name all your tigers as 100 wins, so that when you Zen ability, you can search one actual 100 wins, and that one will get buffed by like, I don't know, a bunch, right? And then the other
Yeah.
one is like you name Open the Center on your last tiger, and then you end with Fluster Fist, and that on hit is basically Salt the Wound. I think most people know Fluster Fist from Katsu, but no one actually plays the full line. But yeah, Fluster Fist is basically Salt the Wound if you have Open the Center before it. So you go Tiger, 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 and then you go Fluster Fist, and it's like a mini Salt the Wound. But yeah, I think the requirement of having to pitch a Chi can just make things really awkward, because you need to play a blue, then you need to transcend, then you need to pitch that for this. And for example, if you already have a blue in pitch and you can't overpitch, and then it gets awkward, and I can see the potential there if you want to play like very specific big combo Zen, but whether or not that's like meta, we'll have to see, right?
Yeah, but the art's so sweet.
The art is pretty sweet. Like all the tiger art. I mean, I think all the art in this set is sweet, right?
Yeah, that's true. I don't think that. I mean, well, maybe not like Waxing Spectre. It's just like
Okay, fair. And then, all right, and then we got Sacred Art. I'm pretty sure everyone can agree all the Sacred Art cards are pretty busted. They go into basically every deck. It's your legendary card. Cost 3. It's blue. It's an instant, so it doesn't block. But if you played another blue card this turn, choose 3. Otherwise, choose 1. Ideally, you're always going to be choosing 3. And if you choose 1, it's a little rough, because then it's like you use 2 cards to make 2 Crouching Tigers, or 2 cards to get +1. So it's not great. But yeah, if you do all 3, you get to Transcend. It refunds a blue pitch. You make 2 Tigers, and your Crouching Tigers get +1. So the fact that it's an instant also can do some like tricky things in terms of like holding priority and stuff like that. But yeah, overall, I think the hard part is always just like starting a turn with the blue, right? So that you can transcend.
yeah, sorry, my mic got. Yeah, starting with the blue is like the harder part of this, but like the payoff for like this card specifically is just so worth it.
Yeah. Like for example, if you start with, I don't know, Wind Chakra, which we'll talk about next, and then you pitch a bunch of stuff, you play your Sacred Art, you get a Chi, you play your Shifting Winds, you got a bunch of Tigers, and then you start naming stuff, and you just go ahead. But then also fitting in the pumps and the Art of Wars, it's interesting for sure. But yeah, great card. Yeah. And moving on to Wind Chakra, as I said before, I'm pretty sure everyone's kind of just or everyone agrees that the blue is pretty good, because it's a blue block 3, and if you have a Transcend card with it, it becomes basically a 3 go again.
Yeah, it's just a good enabler, like blue block 3. Just like again, like you said, like enabling all your Transcend cards is just like really good, and then you also get your 3 value out of the card if you do that, which is like not bad.
Yeah, so you play the Wind Chakra, you play any Transcend card, you get the Chi, you pitch the Chi, you get a combo card, you get a Tiger, and then that Tiger is going to get +3, and it's just, it's pretty good off 2 blues. Companion of the Claw, let's have you talk about this card. When this attacks, if you pitch a blue card this turn, create a Crouching Tiger in your hand. So this is, I guess, kind of like the Surging Strike version for Zen, but have you found any success, or do you think this card's good?
I tried it. I was mostly trying out the blue one because like I was trying to like figure out all my blues, but the problem with this one is it costs 2, so it doesn't fit nicely into your curve.
Yeah.
Like with like a one cost, maybe being Artivore, like a one cost attack, and then like swinging the weapon. It just doesn't fit nicely into that because it costs two.
Mm-hmm.
Or being able to do like 3/1 costs. It just like costing two and being like pretty bad rate. It's not even like surging strike stats, right?
Yeah. Well,
It
I
is
mean, you get
if
the
you buff the
tiger.
crouching.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
No, you play this, you get the tiger, then you play Art of War, then it's Surging Strike. It's 5.
oh, I get
Gotcha there,
it.
gotcha there.
You got
But
me
yeah,
there.
this card, yeah, I think we can both agree. It's like on the meh side. Maybe it'll see play. Not too sold. Harmony of the Hunt, red 1 for 3. Go again when this attacks. If you've pitched a blue card this turn, create a crouching tiger in your hand. So this one costs 1, and it's basically the same as Companion of the Claw. And so because of that, are you running this one, or does it fits the cost curve a bit better?
Yeah, this one fits a cost curve, and I'm playing the reds and the blues currently, and the blues like it feels really good because you also get a it plays nicely with Shuko. So the
Yeah,
tiger you play after it will always be worth like
something.
at least one,
Yeah.
and
And
it'll help
even
turn
with
on your
like
Transcend cards.
I guess with like a bad 2-card blue hand, you can go Harmony, Weapon, Tiger, and that'll be 1, 2, 3.
No, it's so Harmony weapon is 3, and then the tiger will come in for 2 with Shuko, so it'll be for 5.
Oh, does the
So,
weapon not buff? Oh, you're right. Yeah, it'd be for 5.
yeah.
All right, two card 5 with blues, 3 chain links. Maybe you're on Mask of Momentum. Oh yeah, why don't we talk about that a little bit? Do you think there's any world where it's like Mask of Momentum is actually the deck or the helmet that Zen's supposed to use, or is the links just too damn good?
I have to test more, but like I think both have their spots.
Yeah, I think just Mask in general is just, or Momentum I should say, has just felt so out of favor recently, just because like so many decks have like gigantic fridges and like you're never realistically getting your on hit draw, right?
Yeah, everyone just has a whole fridge. every class.
Literally. All right, yeah, and then last Mystic Ninja card is Tiger Form Incantation, red. 1 cost, blocks 3. Your next Crouching Tiger you play gets +3. If you pitched a blue, create a Crouching Tiger. So this is quite similar to the other two, except it's a non-attack. I guess it has like 1 more rate in that it blocks 3. So have you found any success with this card?
Yeah, I like the blues and the reds of this one as well. Same reason as Harmony the Hunt, costing 1, and then it blocking 3, and then also being a non-attack action is actually relevant because if you get like spiders bitten or like let's say like you block a Centauri Sabers, having the non-attack action to block is actually pretty relevant.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, fitting the same cost curve as Harmony the Hunt is good.
Makes sense. All right, let's we can go through all of the Mystic equipment. I'm fairly certain all of the common ones are draft specific, but the legendary helmet, when this defends, search your deck for an inner chi, reveal it, put it to your hand, then shuffle. Do you think there's ever a world where this replaces Lynx? Because you can like get the chi on demand, sort of, but also Lynx is kind of the same with like a free +1 card, but Lynx needs to hit. So I don't know. Have you thought about this at all?
Yeah, so I was thinking about this. Like this one's probably better than the other two heroes, but like this card's probably worth at least like 6, right? Because of
Yeah,
the tiger,
the tiger, the
the
free
cheater
combo card.
pitching,
Yeah.
and the block 2. Yeah. So it's like it's worth 6, and Lynx is usually worth 6, but it's worth 6 in the good direction where it's damage.
Yeah.
Like it's usually worth 5 or 6, so it's like I think I'd rather have Lynx or Momentum, where Momentum will get me some value over the game, maybe forcing awkward blocks, and then Lynx will help me like just have my big pop off turn, and then maybe end with Assault that's worth
Yeah, that's true. Like
like
you can,
5, 6, or probably more.
yeah, like you can get more value off of this because you can actually block with it and activate its effect compared to the Lynx. But yeah, I think just in general, if your game plan is to be aggressive and deal damage, Lynx just makes more sense.
Yeah, it just helps you get over the top of a lot of these decks that have fridges and block well.
So I don't want to go through every single Mystic action or attack action. So why don't you let me know which ones you feel like have potential in Zen?
Levels of Enlightenment. I think this one has potential in all of the heroes.
Yep.
But yeah, this is at worst 3 go again, block 3 blue. Can't really complain about that. You can use it as a combo ender. Maybe you draw a card, arsenal it, or maybe you make it come in for 5. If you have a really weird hand and you pitch 2 blues, you can go again, draw a card. Just like it has a bunch of good modes, and at worst, 3 go again is a blue starter.
Yeah, it's a blue E-Strike, right? But it's talented.
Yeah.
All right. Any of the other ones?
I haven't played any of the other ones. I don't think I've been very impressed with them overall.
Not even these tenets of chi.
No.
All right. What about dense blue mist? Right.
I don't like this card.
I mean, but couldn't you run it for the mirror? Right.
You could, but you'd probably only want to play it off Tunic.
Yeah, you don't really want to pitch on your opponent's turn as Zen. But yeah, when this card was revealed, I think Nghia was very sad because he was playing with a lot of Zen cards, and then he saw this card and he was like, "Why do they hate us?"
Yeah, it's like, oh, I have Artivore. It's like, no, I have blue Artivore.
Yeah, I have blue anti-Artivore.
Yeah, it's just like, no. And like, if you have all your Tigers coming in for 1, now they're all 0, and it's just like, I guess, sure.
Yeah, and then looking at most of the other, attack actions, they're mostly like draft stuff. Wide blue Yonder as an attack reaction, still not, probably doesn't really cut it. Like, and the D-React is like a maybe if you're trying to play like some more defensive Zen version. But in general, like you're not really pitching cards like, Enigma is. So getting value out of these is pretty tough.
Yeah, like you're mostly on your own turn doing stuff there.
You're just blocking or playing your cards.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the Transcend cards. So we don't need to go through every single one, but like, how do you feel like Zen is a hero where you want to run all of them basically, or as much as possible, or maybe just like 3 or 4, or maybe the good ones, or how have you been feeling?
I've been toying with this a bunch, and I think every hero wants a good number of them actually, because I think if you're not on them, like you're just losing a lot of value. I'm playing most of the ones that are like quite easy to turn on in the deck and like actively good for his game plan.
Are you on Stir the Pot?
I am on Stir
Let's
the Pot.
Go.
Because shuffling your deck in Ninja is actually like not that bad.
Yeah.
Let's say I have like Chi at the bottom of my deck, you can just like it might be at the top.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's funny because back then people talked about how like belittle, one, you could cut down on blues because belittle surges a blue, but 2, when you shuffle, you're putting the blues that you pitched like and spreading them out sort of within the deck again, right? But then when it comes to these Mystic heroes, so much of your deck is blue, so I don't know how useful that is, but maybe it's good. I'm not sure. But yeah, if you pitch a Chi and then you stir the pot, maybe the Chi goes back on top and you get to do another good turn, right? But I guess that's the idea.
It also has a cat on it. So.
Yeah, exactly. This one's pretty good. Like, if you wanted to, you can draw a card and then bottom a Crouching Tiger to like semi get a free draw. Like all of the Crouching Tiger cards that generate Crouching Tigers, like generating that tiger is sort of like part of the rate of the card. So like it's not like super free, but yeah.
Yeah, I think Rising Sun Setting Moon is like has been the one I've been most impressed with throughout all 3 heroes.
Yeah, that makes sense. Even like the filter effect, right? Because you get to draw first and then decide what to bottom.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, and then it becomes a Chi. Usually is when you're playing it. Yeah. So it's just like quite good.
Preserve Tradition is kind of just like whatever in my opinion. You got to put an action card on the bottom of your deck. The Sacred Art's an instant, so you can't do that. But I guess sort of anti-fatigue in a way, but I don't know. I don't think the meta game is realistically in like a heavy fatigue spot, especially with like 2 illusionists coming to town. But I mean, maybe you get a good card and then you shuffle and then it goes on top. Drop in the Ocean. This one probably seems like maybe like the hardest one to play, just because in Zen at least, because you have to target and attack.
Yeah, I don't like giving my attacks -1. Like you're technically able to do it after the attack is hit, but the only 2 that I'm not currently on in my testing is Homage and a drop in the ocean.
What? You don't want the free life?
I mean, I think this card is quite good. I just think the rest of them are like
You'd rather play
also
Passover? You just want
yeah.
to pick the ones with the best art, huh? That's the one you chose.
I mean, Passover's art is amazing.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but like I also think the card is like quite good. It's like
Banished. I guess if like if you're playing against like Azalea or Assassin and they codex you and you have Passover, maybe you can do some cute stuff. But if it lines up perfectly, I don't know. It's interesting.
yeah, like if they only have like one attack or something like that,
Like
it's
only one,
interesting.
leave no witness, right?
Or if they preserve tradition, then you can like pass over the card they're targeting.
In response. True. All right, so yeah, that's a brief run over the Mystic cards. Path Well Traveled obviously is a good card, but in a ninja deck, most of your stuff already has go again, so it's not like omega amazing, I guess. Maybe there's some chain enders you're playing where like it might be useful, for example. But yeah.
Yeah. The green that tips the scale, that's very good. Plus
Plus
quite
one's
nice.
plus one's good. Plus one is good. All right. So moving on to like the ninja common or the ninja class cards. Obviously, this is the Crouching Tiger weapon. Cost 2, attacks for 2, go again. When this attacks, the next Crouching Tiger you play this combat chain gets +1. So it doesn't need to be the next attack, it just needs to be on the chain, and it has unconditional go again, which is actually very interesting, but it costs 2 for 2, so it's like slightly underrated when you consider something like Ember Blade. But yeah, it's just a good weapon. Like you could technically run this in any ninja. Like I wonder if there's some Crouching Tiger Fi or Katsu build out there. And if there was, it would feel kind of sad for Zen because he's supposed to be the Crouching Tiger guy. But
that would be sad.
All right, moving on to this one. This is kind of just like a draft thing. You're never running this over like Lynx or Masculine Momentum.
Yeah, no.
All right, Chase the Tail. Do you like this card?
I love this card. I don't think you can not like a 1 for 7. It's conditional on both ends, like you need 2 tigers, but realistically, if you're playing the deck, the condition is like really easy to meet. Like it's not as much of a cost as it seems on paper, but yeah, it's a 1 for 7 and it's quite good.
Yeah, I think that like also the fact that you don't need to have them in hand, you just need to have 2. Like it can be in Banish, for example, and when we compare Tooth and Claw, that one is like 4, go again, draw a card if you have 3 tigers in hand. This one, it costs 1, so that is something to note. But 1 for 7, and the only requirements is 2 tigers on the chain is pretty nuts.
Yep.
I think a lot of the times, like if you're going to transcend, you get 1 free tiger. You have at least 1 other tiger generator. You can probably search out Chase the Tail. If you're on the new chess piece where you can transcend, you get an extra resource. If your blue starter that turn was like a 1 cost, then that free resource comes back. You still get to swing your weapon and play Chase the Tail. So it all lines up. It makes sense. Moving on to Maul. How do you feel about Maul?
Oh, this card's so sweet. When this card got spoiled, it was like after a few spoilers that were like pretty mid for the hero.
Yeah.
Like the one with the tiger on it. But like this is a card that like is exactly up his alley, what he needs.
Mm-hmm.
Like being able to buff your tiger to be able to hit and then make 2 other tigers. It's a block 3. It's not even red, so you can still pitch it to do 2 things or like swing the weapon. I can't complain.
Yeah, this card's pretty crazy. The fact that you get +3, like 0 for 3, blocks 3, that's like the standard rate, right? But when it hits, you make 2 tigers. That's pretty good. Obviously, it does go to Banish, so like there's limited aspects of what you can do with that. But with Shuko, with other stuff, like this card's just great. It does need 1 or less base attack. So, for example, what's that 1 for 3 starter called again?
Harmony?
You don't have to play it on a tiger. You can play it on Blue Harmony of the Hunt, for example, right?
You won't be able to make the tigers though, but you can give it +3.
Oh, you won't? It has to be a Crouching Tiger.
Yeah, Maul, the second mode has to be
let's see, target Crouching Tiger. Yep, that makes sense. Okay. So I guess, you got to have 1 tiger, you pump it, it hits, and then, you make some more tigers, and you just keep going. But yeah, Maul, obviously great card. Territorial Domain. When I first looked at this, I wasn't like super impressed, really, especially because you need to create a Crouching Tiger on your opponent's turn. There's the 1 shoe piece that does it, but is there anything else really?
Not really. After they printed Flick Flack, they didn't really understand how to print a D-React for ninjas ever again, so I think this just falls into that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe this is like a bomb and draft, right? Like you get this plus the shoe, and you get like, you just
Oh,
save
you're
it to put
probably
it together.
yeah.
You block
Oh,
6 with one card, or block 5 with one card, and it's a blue.
yeah. That's Unlimited's probably like bust.
Aspect of tiger, body, soul, and mind. So this is really cool one because like the names are just slightly different by color, and the art coloring is also different, which I was like, oh, that's cool. But yeah, 0 for 3 combo. When this attacks, if a red attack action card was the last attack this combat chain, this gets go again and make a tiger in your banished zone. You may play it this turn, and it changes for each color for whatever the last attack needs to be. So have you toyed around with this at all?
Yeah, I toyed around with it. I initially toyed with the blue one before we saw the other two colors. The blue one was not very impressive. I don't think the yellow one would be very impressive either. The red one is okay. The problem is like in the deck, it feels like you want to be weaving tigers into your attacks to get like the small buffs from them or like give combo. And the tigers don't have a color identity,
Yeah.
so it's like you have to play a red attack and then this and then two tigers or something like that, or like a tiger
Mm-hmm.
after that. So I think this one's like okay. It's exactly on rate and it blocks for 3, so like it's interesting. But yeah, I think the only one I would play it would be the red one.
Would this card be played in Fi?
Probably.
Like, assuming
Yeah.
you can't necessarily turn on Shuko every turn, because literally every card in your deck is red, right, for the most part. And then
In 5, yeah.
yeah, this is a 0 for 3 red go again. I mean, it's not draconic, obviously, but just a pointer out there for all the sad Fi boys out there who haven't gotten anything for a long time.
No, this is the card. This is
This
your
is the
card
card.
right here.
This is the card. You get to play a hybrid Phoenix, crouching Phoenix Fi. Right, She Unleashed. We've seen this card before. Was it in Dynasty?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. It's basically like a flying kick, except it is crouching tiger instead of this needs to be chain link 3, 4. What's flying kick again? Chain link 4.
Fly kick has to be the third chain link, so it
Third
has
chain
to.
link, okay,
Yeah.
But yeah, 2 for 7 if crouching tiger was the last attack. Pretty good rate. I mean, realistically, it's like 1 above rate, right? If you compare it to something like CNC.
Yeah. I think the card is pretty good. I like the red one. The blue one's also very interesting. Because you can fetch it off mask.
Oh, that,
But
yeah,
like
that's true.
there's been turns where I've like
And you
fetched
can
this
maul
off
it.
of
You can maul it.
you can maul it. So I've gone like activate Zen, play the tiger, and then like key unleash the red one. Just come in for 7.
Yeah.
So it's not bad. It also blocks 3.
Mm-hmm.
And costing 2, you can play it in tandem with like another 1 cost.
Yeah, like a 1 starter. Like maybe you don't swing weapon this turn. Instead, you go Chi Unleash or something, right?
Exactly.
Blessing of Chi, the auras from Dynasty. At the start of your turn, destroy this, then create a crouching tiger in your banished zone. It gets +3, and you may play it this turn. So I don't know if you've played around with any of the aura stuff, like Mind State of Tiger and stuff like that. But like maybe when we were talking about a more defensive style of Zen, maybe this is like the style you do it. You play an aura, you block a bit, and then you try to have like a big juice turn. But I don't know. I'm not an aura lover in general.
You love them in Bravo so much, though. I think out of the
only like 2. Just ever play 2.
The mindset of Tiger seems better overall to me, rather than this one, because it's a blue block 3, and then it also costs 0, so
Yeah,
you just
costs
play
0.
it, and then it makes it in hand also.
Yeah, that's true. That's like I know some people even like thought about playing it in Katsu because you can ditch it or discard it for Katsu ability trigger to get like a fake 6 card hand.
Oh yeah.
So it's interesting. Moving on to Biting Breeze. This is was this a new one?
This was not. This isn't new.
Okay. When this hits, creates a crouching tiger in your banished zone. You may play it this turn, and it's head jab 0 for 3. Go again, blocks 2. Have you toyed around with this one at all?
Yeah, I quite like this one. I think the blue is really good as a way to like play that blue and then play that Transcend card. Because it's like it has head jab stat, so it's one go again, and then
and you don't need
if
to
it
pay
hits,
for it.
you get a tiger, and tigers are great. And then you play your Transcend card, and then Transcend and do anything
as
from
we
there.
said, guys, you can maul it. A lot of maul targets, and a lot of Shuko targets. But yeah, moving on to Breed Anger, another new card. Costs 1, comes in for 4, blocks 3 combo. When this attacks, if Crouching Tiger was the last attack this combat chain, this gets go again, and you make another one in your banished zone. So this one's kind of like another... Is this a starter? No. I mean,
No.
you need the combo, right? So you need the Tiger before it and this one. 1 for 4, go again with combo, and you unconditionally make another Tiger and you're banished. It seems fine. I'm not sure.
For me, it's felt like it's just like a nice staple piece in the middle of some of the turns. It's not like overly impressive, but it's also not like it hasn't been bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like being able to make that extra tiger, and like it also blocks for 3. It's like a lot of combo cards tend to do that.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
you want a good
so it's
mix
been like
of
not too bad
combo and starters, especially if you're on like Flick Flack or something.
Yeah, and then it also helps you like weave your buffs. Like you can go like weapon tiger, breed anger, and then another tiger, and it has Shuko on it. So it's like not bad at all.
Yeah, so you don't need like a pump in that turn, for example.
Yeah.
And then you can have another ender, for example, if you have more cards.
Yeah.
Flex Claws. So this one's from Dynasty. 1 for 4, go again, blocks 2. When this hits, create a Crouching Tiger in your banished zone. So I guess this is like the Mounting Anger, basically. It's like leg tap with slightly more text. So you could say, no, leg tap is, well, I mean, leg tap has a different combo line, so it's a little different, but yeah.
It's the leg tap stats.
It's the leg tap stats.
I think the card's all right. I think I like a few amount of 1 for 4s in the deck. It's between this one and another one we're gonna talk about soon, but I've currently liked this one more because I already have so many ways to buff the tigers that I wanted a few more tigers, and it hits that break point, so it's a little annoying, and it fits the cost curve nicely. So
makes sense. Pouching Chi, another returning card. 0 for 3, blocks 3. If Crouching Tiger was the last attack, it gets +1 and go again, so it becomes a nice 0 for 4 and go again. I imagine this card's just like a good glue piece to have in the deck. Like whenever you look at your hand and you can transcend, you're like, oh, maybe Pouching Chi is the most efficient thing I can do with my resources or whatever.
Yep, can't complain about it. It's almost always a 0 for 4 go again, so can't really complain there.
Yeah, and it blocks 3. Blocks 3, it's in. Untamed. So this is the other starter you were talking about. 1 for 4, go again, blocks 2. When this attacks the next Crouching Tiger you play this combat chain gets +1.
Yeah, so this one has a counterpart that was not in either Dynasty or this set, so it's called Growl, and it's from the TCG.
Yeah.
And that one is Biting Breeze's counterpart to this. It gives your next tiger +1, but it's a head jab, which I think is a little more impressive than this one because it doesn't cost 1.
Yep.
So the other one's a 0 for 4, where this one's like a 1 for 5.
Yeah.
And 0 for 4s tend to be a little bit better, especially when you want to go wider.
Yep, agreed. Makes sense. And this card is more expensive. What's that one other card from TCG? The Majestic.
Bittering Thorns.
No. The finisher.
Oh, that one is. Oh my goodness. Putting me on the spot here.
Do you play it?
I don't. I think it's like.
Oh, here you go. Mauling Chi.
Mauling Chi. Yeah.
It's basically 1 for 6, so it's if it hits only though. So, a little worse.
Yeah, 2 condition.
Yeah, so 1 for 5 if it doesn't hit. It's kind of seems okay. Obviously, if you're playing UPF, this is great because you can deal 1 to each opposing hero. But yeah. Crouching Tiger, Zen State. What was that one card that made a Zen State token?
It's the chess piece.
Oh, the chess piece. That's right. So I guess if you're playing against Viserai or some other niche hero or maybe in the mirror, it's useful, right?
Yeah, because if you're playing against other heroes around the mirror, it's interesting.
Yeah. Seems all right. There's not too many Zen State creators. It would be kind of broken if there was a lot. Stonewall Gauntlet. How do you feel about this card?
I don't like this card. People are like, you could just close the combat chain, but like, and this hero specifically, when you want to do like big tiger swipe turns, it's just like so debilitating because like you have to close the chain, sure, but then you lose all of the progress you made in that chain before
Yeah.
the tiger swipe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think this especially just like buffs the few classes that don't have like crazy arm slots, like Dash or like Illusionist, right? So
Yeah, they just get this free piece for a slot that wasn't like particularly good for them already, so they just get that for free.
yeah. Looking at any of the generics, do any of them stand out for you in terms of like Ninja? Like you got the new Seek Horizon cards.
I don't think I would play that one. I think that's like a definitely a draft card, but um yeah, I don't think any of
Pride.
that stuff. Oh, nimblism, let's go. Um but yeah, I wouldn't play them. The one that I looked at first was Water the Seeds, which is a little further
Oh
down.
yeah.
Um because it would buff a tiger, but it costs one. It doesn't have hedge. It doesn't have leg tap stats,
Yeah,
or else it'd be
exactly.
like it'd just be another untamed.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem too necessary to play this, especially when like you lose the rate on the card itself to get it back. So I mean,
Yeah,
you can
there's
still
just a
just
better one
attack with
in
Tiger for
class.
0, if it comes
Yeah,
down to it, to continue your combo.
yeah, because untamed is just better than it. Because like this is a 1 for 3. It's right there. Oh, yeah,
Untamed,
that one.
untamed, untamed.
It's up.
Up.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
in this set.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like the exact same thing except for it has one more attack. It technically doesn't buff your other ones, but you're playing Crouching Tigers anyway.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Vi card, right?
me, probably not.
Probably not. Yeah. Expansion slot cards, nothing really there of note. I think maybe the one last card that might be a little annoying for Ninja is the Fabled. It's sideways, but basically, first attack that targets you each turn gets -1. Does this work for both players, like on either side?
No, it says targets you. It doesn't work like any of the other fables or how they're worded. The other ones are all symmetrical.
Yeah,
This one seems to not be symmetrical at all, and
that's
its upkeep cost is quite easy, and it
yep,
doesn't transcend unless you do all three.
yep. You just got to do something blue every turn, whether that's pitch play or defend.
This is worse, I think, for a lot of other heroes, because Ninja tends to go wide, so like losing one value for them they have to block with the blue on your turn every turn,
Yeah.
or play a blue on your turn, like pitch a blue, or play a blue, or block with the blue
Hmm.
on your turn every turn. So it has an upkeep cost against Ninja, whereas like I feel like against some of the other classes, it'd be a
Like
little
Bolton.
easier. Yeah, or oh man, Bolton probably doesn't like this card. I think this is really good for the assassin matchup too because it stops
Their
their first
daggers.
dagger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in general, like if you draw this like turn 1 as any, well, I mean you probably don't play this in Zen, right? Or maybe you don't play it
Probably
in
not.
New either. Maybe you only play it in Enigma. But yeah, you draw this
It
turn
seems like
1,
an
it just
enigma
seems
card.
so good. Like it's actually crazy good.
Yeah, I don't like that they made a playable fable.
I mean, I guess like the argument is that like you have to do something every turn. So for example, like you can't just full block out one turn because on the next turn you won't be able to pitch anything or stuff like that. But
Yeah,
I don't know. When you get one value every opponent's turn, it's pretty nice. Even if it's like you gotta like change up your plays a little bit.
especially because like for at least for enigma, you're not changing your plays that much.
Yeah, like you pitch, maybe you play footsteps or maybe you play out an aura, whatever. So
You don't even have to. You just block with the blue card, and your deck's mostly blue cards.
yeah.
Its upkeep cost seems a little too easy for enigma.
You just gotta hit them with the crippling pummel. You can strip all their cards.
Damn, that hurts.
But yeah. All right. So that covers just about all of the Zen cards. Overall, He doesn't seem bad, but he doesn't seem like he innovates in the class necessarily. It's just like a different style, different flavor, but a little bit somewhat of the same so far, and whether or not he's good or not will remain to be seen, right?
Yeah. Hopefully he's better than I think he is, but as is right now, he just seems like all right.
Yeah. All right. So that just about wraps up the video. Nice. We kept it under an hour. I remember when I did these by myself, I went too long. But do you have any question for the viewers, Nghia? You can ask them any question.
I guess who are they most excited for in Park the Mistveil?
Boo. No, I'm kidding.
And why is it?
And why is it new? All right. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it to the end, and please answer Nghyia's question. I will try to get him to respond. He probably won't, but and yeah, I'm going to be doing more of these set reviews with the other classes, so be sure to subscribe, stay tuned for all that good stuff, and yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.